So, were you one of the people who were crying into their cornflakes, diluting their orange juice with their tears, or simply bitching in the kitchen and crying in the bedroom all night after the results and what happened at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view? Overall, I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. It did what it was supposed to do. Now, obviously, things aren't quite going the way that WWE, I think, wanted them to go, but I thought it was an excellent way of getting to where they wanted to go. Firstly, the kick-off show match was Goldust and Cody Rhodes defeating Curtis Axel and Ryback, who were accompanied by the legendary Larry the Axe Hennig, Curtis Axel's grandfather, the father of the late great Curt Hennig, fantastic legend, one of Roddy Piper's first opponents. This was a decent, short tag team match, just about 9 minutes, just under 9 minutes. It was a good good match to do for the kickoff show. Goldust and Cody Rhodes won, which I'm always happy about. I'm fully supporting the Brotherhood. It was a decent match to warm up the crowd. Then we went to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view itself. Big E defeated Jack Swagger, who was accompanied, of course, by Zeb Coulter, to retain the Intercontinental title match. This was obviously a power battle match. Big E Langston is definitely one of the strongest guys in the WWE these days, and he showed it here with his manhandling occasionally of Jack Swagger. Really good. Big E, obviously WWE testing Big E out with a championship. The Intercontinental Championship continues to hold it even after Monday Night Raw. A really good thing. Big E Langston on a slow burn to the top of the company. Then it was the New Age Outlaws, the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn defeating the Usos. Now, this was a match where I thought I could tell really that the New Age Outlaws were not going to lose this match. They sneaked the win, and to be honest, I mean I know that the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn have worked hard for many years. They're on their 6th championship run with the tag titles, and you know they're obviously veterans. They're obviously possibly working with the Usos to help with their skills, but it's getting the kind of case where WWE have the potential, well, had the potential of an exciting tag team division, but they're ruining it a little bit. I thought the Usos may have I was hoping they might have beat the Outlaws. Didn't think it would happen. The Usos did beat the Outlaws really quickly within about 2 minutes on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, the Usos will take the tag titles possibly at WrestleMania. Titus O'Neil defeated Darren Young in the next match. This was an okay match. You could tell they were doing it a bit slow. Again, these guys are inexperienced as singles competitors. For the last couple of years, they've been in tag team competitions. Now, somebody said a while ago, you need to be a good singles wrestler to be a good tag team wrestler. It's not always the case. The fact is that tag team wrestling and singles competition is completely different. You know, there's completely different animals, and you know you don't need to be a good singles wrestler to be a good tag team wrestler. Sometimes as a good tag team wrestler, you can struggle as a singles wrestler. Watching this match, it was obviously these guys are inexperienced working singly. I'm hoping that, I don't know, but hopefully they're getting experience on the live events of working perhaps with different opponents, working singly. Obviously they're no longer together as the primetime players. Hopefully they'll get the time, they'll get experience with different opponents. You could tell they were inexperienced and taking it slow and going through the steps at a couple of points. Obviously they're just launching themselves as both as singles competitors. The gimmick for Titus O'Neil is obviously he's a really big, tall guy. Darren Young, I don't know, he's certainly not changed his character's persona, his gimmick yet. We hopefully will see that coming up over the next few months. But Titus O'Neil defeating Darren Young, it's always Titus O'Neil, I think, is the guy that the WWE are looking at. So I think that's the reason why he picked that one. I just hope this feud doesn't go on too long, maybe a couple of matches, and then they could blow off this feud a little bit and have them work the different opponents. Even both of them disappearing into the lower and the mid card level in WWE. Some people keep, and I'll get to that in a minute. Some people don't like that when it happens. But these guys guys like this, they need experience of that level to work with the guys. I think that's kind of why Curtis Axel and Ryback have been put together. Some of the guys need experience and need like a bit hidden away and a bit of help, so they can, you know, start and find themselves. It takes many years and hundreds of matches to try and start building themselves up to the level that some people want them, a lot of WWE superstars, to just instantly, like that, jump to, and it's not going to happen. The next up, the fourth match of the night was the match of the night. The Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan took on and defeated the Shield of Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Now, this was an excellent six-man tag team match. All six of these guys are talented wrestlers. I even saw Luke Harper doing a tope through the middle and top rope. Never seen that before him. And he was even doing some great acrobatics, like a couple of drop kicks. You know, these guys are a lot. Sometimes that's another thing that annoys me. Sometimes people complain about the use, you know, the kind of stereotypical WWE kind of way of wrestling. You know, they go through, like, sometimes use signature moves, or they just use a basic move set, and you know, it's sometimes they don't pop out the moves that they know they can do, that they may have done in their past in independent experience or their experience in like NXT. You know, they keep them as special moves, and we saw a few of those last night. I'm not going to go through all the matches, but this was certainly match of the night, the Wyatts versus the Shield. All six guys here show then exactly why they were signed, why they're in the position they were, and certainly cracks in the Shield, like we've been seeing in the last few weeks, and credit to WWE. They've done it well. They're putting it on a slow burn for the Shield to break up. We saw it continue on Monday Night Raw, as Bray Wyatt took out Dean Ambrose during that Elimination Chamber pay-per-view match between the two factions. And Dean Ambrose was trying to justify himself. We saw Seth Rollins put through the Spanish announce table by Luke Harper and Eric Rowan during the pay-per-view match. It's a slow burn for the Shield. You know, it really is going to be a slow burn for the Shield break-up, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with the Wyatt family, who were to play a role in the Elimination Chamber match itself. Next up, Cameron defeated AJ Lee via disqualification. What happened here was Tamina Snuka, who was of course the bodyguard of AJ Lee, she went to super kick Cameron, but got AJ Lee instead. Now, I have to say, watching that pay-per-view back, and I watched it back a couple of times, watching with my nephews yesterday, and I actually watched a few bits of it today before doing this video. It's really obvious when you watch it that Tamina goes to kick AJ Lee. It's deliberate. Obviously, it's supposed to be the work is accidental. You know, it's supposed to be accidental. She accidentally gets AJ Lee instead of Cameron, but you can tell actually looking at it that obviously she does actually deliberately target AJ Lee. Now, this is not storyline. She was supposed to accidentally, she was supposed to accidentally get AJ Lee, but obviously she was going for AJ Lee deliberately so she can make sure she hit her, and then then it would cause the disqualification. But I definitely think this was not the greatest women's match I saw during the weekend. The local one was better, with the three women going for the future division title locally. It's a bit annoying. Some of the matches in the Diva division in WWE is not as good as they could be. There's a lot of great wrestlers like Paige, and a lot of great wrestling going on in NXT. I don't know why, it's just the Divas division is just not really capturing my attention when it comes to the wrestling. And AJ Lee's a good wrestler. I just do not think, like Cena was talking on the Steve Austin show, she doesn't have a dance partner, as the saying goes. She's maybe just not got that person who's got that experience, who's got that ability to have a really good women's wrestling match. Then it was Batista defeating Alberto Del Rio. This was also a quick match, 8 minutes. This did what it was supposed to. Now the plan, obviously, when Batista returned a couple of weeks ago, was to be a babyface, a good guy. Triple H and all the promo videos were all saying, Dave Batista, one of the most popular athletes in recent history in the WWE. He's been away for 4 years. The fans will welcome him back. I saw an advert online, saying, obviously loads and loads and loads of shots of the crowd cheering and chanting his name. That hasn't happened. The crowd in this one was certainly having chants of Boo Tista, CCCSI, which is Spanish, or Mexican Spanish for yes. Obviously definitely behind Alberto Del Rio. We had chants all night of CM Punk, which were completely ignored by the announcers. And one time, I think, once or twice, there was chants of Y2J, which the actual announcers acknowledged on air, but the CM Punk chants were completely ignored all evening. Batista obviously was supposed to be building his popularity. This was supposed to be the heel Randy Orton, possibly going against Batista at WrestleMania. Fans are definitely booing both of them. I saw it as well on Monday Night Raw, as Batista was kind of playing up to the fans, and then said, "I don't care if they cheer or not." I thought the first few minutes he was trying to maybe say that maybe it was a case of, right, if they don't, he was going on about Orton not knowing what honesty was, and perhaps it was saying, okay, keep this line, say this line if the fans don't cheer you. A couple of fans were cheering them on Monday Night Raw, but I think certainly looking online, looking on the reactions in Elimination Chamber, a lot of fans are still not behind Batista. I don't blame them, to be honest. He comes back, just wins the Rumble, is getting really pushed to the moon. Friend of Triple H, which is part of the problem, I think, unfortunately, in his case. But this did what it was supposed to do. Really end the feud with Alberto Del Rio, even though Del Rio defeated Batista on Monday Night Raw. But that was only because of the distraction of Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's music played and Randy Orton came out onto the stage. But I think that feud is done and dusted. Batista on to face whoever the WWE World Champion is at WrestleMania 30. Now, the Elimination Chamber match itself. This was a good Elimination Chamber match. As always, it's a bit of a risk having no eliminations before everybody enters, which is what happened. It started off with Sheamus and Cesaro. It really was a typical Elimination Chamber. For the first time in several years, it was the only Elimination Chamber match on the pay-per-view. Now, say what you like about independents and independent talents, but guys like Daniel Bryan and Cesaro are certainly showing why they're in the position they are in now. I don't know, I got the feeling at a couple of points that as it was Cesaro's first Elimination Chamber match, I kind of got the feeling that the guy, I don't know, obviously, we never know how much these guys get together or how much they're told, right, you jump off of this, you do this, you do this, and then there's this sequence to do. We never know, really, as fans, how much they go into all that stuff in the WWE, particularly for main event pay-per-views. But certainly it seemed like on occasion that a few of the bits that Cesaro was involved in was pretty much introducing him to the Elimination Chamber. putting him on, slamming him on the or and backdropping him onto the metal on the outside of the ring. This is what it feels like. Throwing him into the chains. This is what that feels like. Kind of and introducing him during the match to the chamber itself. Obviously, we may see Cesaro in a few of these matches over the few years, however long he's in the WWE. Elimination list was Sheamus, Christian, Cesaro. Then eliminated was John Cena. Now this was after a Sister Abigail from Bray Wyatt. One of the great bits of the whole Wyatt family persona, the characters, whatever you want to call it. I keep trying to find other words other than gimmick and whatever it is. But one of the great things about the Wyatt family is how they suddenly appear from nowhere. It's almost like the Undertaker used to do sometimes, or Kane used to do, or even some people before the Undertaker and likes of Kane, the lights went out, and suddenly the Wyatt family were in the Elimination Chamber. I counted it was only approximately 18 seconds. There was nobody in the aisleway played the Wyatt interruption bitty, and there was a very quick video blip. Then and within all that, and within 18 seconds, when the lights went up, the whole Wyatt family was in the Elimination Chamber, took out John Cena. I said with his sister Abigail, they focused on John Cena. So we may see something with the Wyatt family and Cena coming up soon for perhaps WrestleMania, perhaps afterwards. But obviously John Cena is the big dog in the WWE right now. That left Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. I knew at that point Randy Orton would win, and he did after an RKO. Daniel Bryan again put up a great fight. Daniel Bryan, I've said it so many times, I've been a fan of Daniel Bryan since he was in the likes of Ring of Honor and performing all over the world. He is a great performer, and a lot of people are not happy about this whole pay-per-view, about the fact that I've checked it online, a lot of people really complaining and bitching and moaning just because their favourite wrestler didn't win, because the results didn't go the way that they wanted to. Well, you know what, tough luck, because that's the way wrestling is. Sometimes it goes to the way of your favourite superstars, sometimes it goes against your favourite superstars. It's like that. That is the way professional wrestling is. That way it means something. It actually means something when a particular side wins. And that's the way it's going to be. WWE are building up to WrestleMania, and I think honestly that there are a few bits I can see for WrestleMania I think the fans are going to like. I can certainly see a few bits that the fans don't like. The only two official matches for WrestleMania so far is Randy Orton versus Batista for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and made last night on Raw. Brock Lesnar will challenge the streak as he goes up against The Undertaker. That means 2 years in a row, Paul Heyman will lead his charge into facing The Undertaker. Obviously last year it was CM Punk, who is on a break. I keep saying this, he's on a break, he needs a break, he's taking a break, he needs time off, he's taking time off. Will we see him in time for WrestleMania? Perhaps. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't put any money on it. I wouldn't guarantee it. We may see CM Punk back. We may not see CM Punk back. Perhaps not even for a good while. And that's the thing about professional wrestling fans. I understand the fact that they want to see, we want to see our favourite superstars all the time. I understand that, but the one thing you've got to understand is that sometimes they need to take time off. Don't you, in your work, if you work, and I don't unfortunately just now, and I'm looking for work, but as I said many times before, but don't you not get to a point at your work that you need to use some holiday days? that you need to take some time off, that you just get physically tired, emotionally tired, sick of what's going on, if there's anything ridiculous going on, and you just need to take time off? And then don't you just get like that if you're actually of the age to work? Or you do work, you know, don't you get to that point yourself sometimes where you just feel, I need a holiday, I need time off, I need to step away from this place for a week or so to refresh myself, recharge my batteries? Don't you get that way? Well, it's the same with CM Punk, and that is exactly what he's doing. He's taking the break, refreshing himself, recharging his batteries. He said, and I say it yet again, he said it 3 years ago that he needed to step away. He needed to take this kind of sabbatical. He's still under contract with WWE. Vince McMahon has made that perfectly clear when he got a lot of tweets and a lot of emails, a lot of things going, saying, why have you released CM Punk? And WWE came back with a statement, we have not released CM Punk, he is still under contract, and that remains true until at least the 25th of February, as I record this. So, it certainly seems to me that that's what he's doing. But Elimination Chamber is building up to WrestleMania. It is building up to what I think could be a great event. And of course, last night on Raw, we also heard that it was confirmed, like for the 100th time already, that Hulk Hogan will be hosting WrestleMania.